Welcome back, people. Waking up in a prison cell, as I'm sure we all have before. In this case, it was, I guess the crime was being on this one side of the army. So Pohl is just like, hey, good morning. You're just now meeting Pohl. I can't imagine how else you'd spell that. Powell. That doesn't really make sense, but Pohl, we'll just say Pohl. All right, so Pohl's like, hey, time to get to work, prisoner. And all you can really do is say, sure. So yeah, apparently Pohl forgot your name is Nick Cage. I don't know how you do that. So Pohl's going to show you to push. I say she. I have no idea the gender of Pohl. Anyways, Pohl is going to show you. It's a pretty stupid name, so it's doesn't really tell either way. Pohl's going to tell you to push the boxes against the wall. Oh, I forgot the sounds on. I was like, what the hell is that noise? Life hack, you can do 2 at a time. I just saved you 11 seconds if you ever play this. I can't remember if that one counts as being pushed, but we'll just go ahead and do that. I know that this one will count as push, whether you push it to the top or not. And then you have to quote unquote clean up this rope, which just means carry it around. All right, and Pohl's going to do a quality inspection. As you can see, this box magically pushed itself to the other boxes. And I guess if you say, of course, it's considered like the cute answer. I don't know. So after that hard day of work that took 40 seconds, you're given dinner and the day is over. That was a day. I know it looked like 40 seconds, but that was a day. All right, so I like that Pohl says, good morning, Nick Cage, like you just walked out of your own prison, which maybe you did. So you're being told to get 2 pairs of boots, and then 3 flints from the blacksmith, 2 bags of flour from the item store, and then you're just supposed to come back. The flints are going to be right here. And this is kind of funny because she said 2. You ask for 3 because otherwise, you need more. I don't know. You'll see. And then Barbara is going to give you boots. And there's a weird hack. If you say 2, then that's it. If you say 3, you get an extra pair. But if you say 1, and then you can say, oh, wait a second, I didn't get enough boots. Now we've got a total of 4. Because if you talk to Barbara again, she doesn't offer any more boots. I like the boots are just universal. Doesn't matter what size your feet are. All right, so this is Leona. So far, by far the smokingest hot chick in this game. Oh, I thought Leona was going to give you flour. Smokingest. All right, so the item guy says we are out of flour. The thing I was saying about the flint, Pohl's going to say 2 pairs of boots, 2 flints, because you're supposed to be holding a flint. That was if you pay attention, you're like, wait a second, I have an extra flint. There's no benefit to doing the boot hack that I did with flints. So, but meanwhile, I have extra pairs of boots. Let's go ahead and equip that. This is a weird thing in this game. You can double up on boots instead of wearing gloves. It makes sense to carry medicine. Probably won't need it, but... All right, Leona is going to be the person you go to when you need your party assigned. Which they kind of didn't do that in the first Suikoden. It was just I think you would just talk to somebody and they'd be like, oh, you want to change your party? That can't be right. I just don't remember. All right, so Jin is a kobold. He is effectively your babysitter because you're a prisoner. And then this is little Tuta. There's a lot of characters in this game that I don't know the gender, so I'm just going to refer to them as their name for the most part. Just my attempt to be PC this day and age. I am and am not saying that sarcastically. The am not because it's a video game, so I'm not personally offending anyone. All right, so Yeah, you get to walk out of the fort, which normally you would be stopped, but because you have Jinjin with you, Nick Cage can do whatever he wants as long as he has Jinjin. That response doesn't really matter. Either way, you just walk out of town, which doesn't really make sense. And I'm actually doing this because I want to get in an extra fight, because you can easily walk to the town without getting in a fight, because you just clearly strolled out this way. I don't know why they don't make you do the extra walk. Also with this game, if you're on the path, you're less likely to get in a fight versus like wandering in the wild. At least that's been my observation. So with this group, I honestly was probably better off just doing auto, but it doesn't really save that much time with this small of a party. All right, so Nick Cage got hit. He's gonna be fine though. Oh, so I didn't mention, I don't know if you saw, Tuda is your first long-range unit. She threw a pebble at the opponent and she missed. That's because she has poor technique. 22, 28, 16. I mean, his is higher because he's a higher level. If Nick Cage was the same level, he'd probably have him beat in every category except maybe defense. But that's because Jinjin carries a shield, so that's rolled into that. All right, so this is Ryub Village. So long, pigeons. That's actually a little change they made in the first one. In the first one, all the pigeons fly off at once, but with this game, they kind of go on an individual basis. So a little bit of a difficulty challenge that I'm going to add is I'm not going to buy any regular items. I will only buy rare finds. Same with the item store. Well, I have to go in here anyways. That's the whole mission right now. I am the mission, to quote Philip J. Fry. He says that, and then Leela and Bender get out of the ship and say, "We finished the mission!" Which is an episode where Fry just kind of feels useless. It's a good one. He finds out that he's kind of the most important person in the universe because of his Delta brainwave, and he can... I mean, you should watch the episode, but effectively it references a previous episode where Fry became his own grandfather because he went back in time, had sex with his grandmother, and produced his father. It's one of the funnier concepts in time travel. These are some circus folks, and they're just hanging out as of right now. That's kind of all you can do in the town. There's a little path that leads to that. I mean, that's a forest. It just looks like mountain, but I guess it's kind of both. There is a path that you can go, but not right now. It's currently blocked off. That was probably actually a poor choice. I mean, I'm not like, oh no, we're going to lose now, but if I was in it to win it, I would have had them attack the same unit. So you're guaranteeing at least killing one. All right, everyone took care of their own. Oh, I just went to the blacksmith without even saying anything. So your weapon, if you see at the bottom, he's level 2, the Twin Fang. It depending on when you get people in the game, they're gonna have different level weapons. You know, for example, Jinjin has a level 3 sword, and Tuda has a level 3 or level 2 pebble. And if you look next to the letter like M, S, and L, that tells you what kind of range this person is. So if I were to change my formation, I actually can't right now. I can't move Tuda in the back row, but that's the best place for Tuda. Jinjin is better off in the front. I mean, I say better off, like Jinjin has to be in the front or he's effectively useless until someone in front of him dies. Because if he's in the back row, because you can have 6 fighters at a time. If Jinjin is in the back row, he cannot attack. He can be attacked by certain attacks, but yeah, if someone has an S, they need to be in the front. With L, they can be in the front, obviously, because Tuda is, but you're better off with them in the back because they typically have worse defense. All right, so Pohl got all of the equipment you were assigned to pick up. And that was really just a little sampling of here's what it's like to have a party other than just you and Joey. And Pohl is just rambling. I don't know why I'm so mean to Pohl. Oh well. All right, so Pohl has some nerve saying, hey, Nick Cage, clean up this oil on the ground. But you have to, or the game doesn't progress, so you're the boss, Pohl. I don't think there's any more on this floor. If I were to say, hey, I'm done, Pohl would like look left and right and go, hey, there's still oil. And, you know, you're right, but also, how did you know? You have cameras set up? I don't think there's cameras in this this reality. You know, I assume this game takes place 200 years ago, but there's no way to really tell. You know, in this era of video games, it's kind of a nice touch that he is holding a rag. Sometimes in games like this, you would just be holding nothing, and then next thing you know, like there's a rag if they add like the fact that you're cleaning it up versus just like if I were to stand and be like, there's an oil stain, it's gone. Like that's how a lot of video games worked in the 90s that were RPGs at least. They focused on the gameplay more than the touches. So I guess like the flirty thing to say is it's my talent. That was a good one. All right, so that was the day. You just walked around and cleaned up some oil. So now we're carrying a rope, a flint, and an oily rag. And look, somebody snuck in here. Pohl was watching you sleep apparently, or at least staring at your door. All right, so the sweet thing is to say, I'm here, Joey. Otherwise, you can just be a jerk and just be silent while Joey is risking his life to save you. And apparently a good swing unlocks a door. Joey joins your party. Oh, you know what I didn't think about? And this is petty, but I'm still concerned. All right, good. I was going to say, I had to make sure I was ahead of Joey in experience points. Depending on when you get in a fight, though, that can flip-flop. So, man. Didn't think that through, considering there was only one way out. So Joey says we're outnumbered, and you can be like, let's bust through. Or you can say, I understand, and you just go quietly. But yeah, right. Oh. Flick knocked you unconscious by slashing you in half. All right, so now you're being interrogated. It's funny. I mean, I guess it's because they're kids, but like, it's just funny that Victor and Flick are so concerned with what these kids are up to. Personally, I would, if I was in Victor and Flick's situation, I would try to get information from them about this surprise attack by the state, and then be like, all right, get out of my hair. So you can either be a tough guy or just tell them what happened. But yeah, so that part, they do actually like work hard to figure out information about this ambush, but other than that, they do not want them out of their hair. They kind of hang out with them for a while. And Joey says, yes, we're planning to escape. But like, why not? Just let them go. They're kids. They just saw a tragedy of all their friends being murdered like 3 days ago. But anyways, you've got your pal Joey, so now you guys can hopefully play cards or something throughout the night. All right, and then Pohl is like, all right, Nick Cage and Joey, enjoy your food. Oh, you need a spoon? All right, I won't think anything of that. But the spoon is all part of the plan. You know, I said that this is going to be more storyline driven, less strategy. This is the earlier part of the game. It's a little heavier with this. Like eventually there's a point where you're spending almost as much time in fights as you are with the story. So if you want to sound less naive or like less aware, you can say, are you trying to escape? Because like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Instead of just being like, what do you mean? What do you want my stuff? So yeah, flint, oily rag, rope. I've also got a lot of boots. Can we use these boots? So Joey asked for a spoon for this getaway. All right. And Joey's confident because they are making their breakaway so soon, they won't catch on. I always found this scene funny because they're clearly like about to go to bed. And then Joey's like, no way, we need a diversion. So he decides to try to burn Victor's fort down. Oh, you know what? I say that, but yeah. So if you try the front door, it's locked. So Joey had a plan involving the rope. Oh, maybe he didn't. Must be a way out. All right, so now the rope is involved. Tonight there's going to be a jailbreak. I actually haven't listened to that song by Thin Lizzy in a long time, but no, that's not Thin Lizzy, is it? Yeah, I think it is. Anyways, so we escaped from jail, prison, whatever you want to call it. I guess jail. And we are on the way to go find Nanami, so let's head back to Cairo Town. And that is where we will pick up next time. Hope you guys liked it.